Hi everybody, my name is Brian Trippe. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama, the greatest place on earth to invest in real estate. It's obviously my biased opinion. We're currently going through the 10 Commandments of Wholesaling. Something I came up with a few months back and just decided to put together a little video series. We are now in the 10th part of this series, the 10th and final installment. Hopefully you guys have learned something. Hopefully not only did you watch it and learn something, that you actually took some of this information and applied it and made some money. I want you to. I want you to be successful, like we've been able to be fortunate enough to be successful here at Alabama Cash Deals, where we've been wholesaling for about 4 years now, 4.5 years, going on 5 years. So going through the 10 Commandments of Wholesaling, we've talked about networking. You got to know your market, know your numbers, finding cash buyers, viewing yourself as a marketer and how to market successfully here in Birmingham. Answer the daggone phone. Biggest mistake in this business. Make offers. You got to make the offers. Is Commandment 6. Number 7, you always have to be negotiating through the whole process of the deal, from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. Throughout the whole process until it goes to the closing table, you should be negotiating everything, every step of the way. Maximize those deals. Get as much profit out of those deals as you can. Do not turn down any houses. Commandment 8, all houses matter. Do not turn down the worst of the worst. Don't turn down the best of the best. I've had people do both in my market, and I've profited from it. So it's very important. We just talked about in the previous video, follow up. Follow up is so critical. It's probably the number 2 mistake I've seen in this business after not answering your phone. Not following up with people. They turn down your cash offer, and you never call them back. Meanwhile, a month later, someone did follow up with them, and when they once wanted $150,000, now they're willing to take $110,000 because their circumstances changed. You could have been that guy to get that deal. Instead, your competitor swooped in. You gotta follow up. Over half our deals come from follow up. Very, very important. And now, what I want to talk about today, this is. Man, people in our office, this is something I've had so hard to get it through people's heads, that you got to get the contract, okay? You got to tie up the property. So we call this commandment number 10, it's err on the side of the contract. When you don't know, get the contract. If you don't know if your numbers are right, get the contract, okay? Getting the contract ties up the property, gives you exclusivity, okay? Means you can go out there and now you control that property. Now, whether it's you needed to get the house for $50,000 and the contract's for $70,000, and you messed up, you probably can't wholesale it, you still control the property. And that's very important. It's very important for a lot of reasons, but you can go back and negotiate. You can go back and renegotiate. Always negotiate. If you figure out that your numbers are that your numbers are off a little bit. And so the number one question I get then is, well, you've committed to this contract. How do you get out of the contract? Well, we don't have what we call weasel clauses. Like, I know some people that actually, when I first got trained in this business, I was trained to put into my contract that I need to talk it over with my partner. It's subject to my partner's approval. But your partner could be your dog, and it's just a way to weasel yourself out of a contract. We don't do any of that here. So the question is, well, how do you get out of a contract? We just use the simple inspection period. That's it. That's all we have in our contract. We've got some obviously stuff that we need to have in there. Good marketable title, some stuff that absolutely has to be in there. We can't close the deal without. But the way we can get out of contracts is the inspection period. Okay, so we put depending on the property, depending on if we know we got the numbers right, and we know we can flip it really, really quick, we'll just put 7 days on there. If we think it might be a little bit more of a challenge, I put up to 30 days on there. Sometimes I'll write a 60-day contract. Okay. And so it just depends on what the challenges might be. So we can get out of the contracts. So training some people in our office, we're training some people to try to make offers on the phone, or if we think we're far apart, we'll just go ahead and email them a contract. And that's actually probably not the best way to do things. But if we know, like if it's in a bad area and we know we can only pay $500 or $1,000, which we do very often, don't be mistaken. We make $500 and $1,000 offers all the time, every single day. And if they want $40,000 and we're at $500 or $1,000, we're gonna email them or send them just a $500 contract. Hey, you got it in your hands. If something changes, you may not adhere to 1,000. You may not want to take 1,000, but you may take 5,000 later. So it keeps our contact information in front of their face. So we do some stuff like that. But you got to get the contract, okay? No matter what the circumstance, you've got to get that contract. You never know. You never know what can happen when you put it out there on a Craigslist. If you put it out there on Zillow, if you're just getting started, that's probably, if you don't really have a buyer's list yet, put it out there on those avenues and those channels. You never know what might be able to stick. And so you might get something for 70, and then the buyer comes back and says, I can only pay 70. Well, what do you do then? You go and renegotiate. Look, yes sir, Mr. Seller, we agreed on 70. We went in here, had our inspection done. My buyer going in and looking at it is my inspector. Had our inspector go and look at it, and I want to do 70. We just can't quite make that work, but we could do 65. You'd be shocked how often that works. It works 9 out of 10 times. So you got to get the contract. Don't go out if you think you're $5,000 or $10,000 apart. Get the contract anyway. Just get it. Just get the contract, because you never know. You just don't know. And now you control that property. And now your cash offer might not have been good. You might need to get it for $10,000 less, like you initially thought, and that might be true. But now you might be able to offer him some creative things. But you've tied that property up. Okay? You now control that property, and so it buys you some time, a lot of different things, and you never know who might be able to pay a little bit more. You might find yourself a new buyer. When you put stuff out on Zillow and put stuff out on some other channels. My name is Brian Trippe. Again, I'm right here in Birmingham, Alabama. I'd love to help you in your wholesale, as you get started in your wholesale career, or you get started wholesaling. I'd love for you to reach out to me. Leave me a comment in the comment box. Leave me a question if you have any questions. Get in touch with us on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel. However you can get in touch with us. We'd love to meet you. Again, we just went through the 10 commandments of wholesaling. Hopefully you'll learn something. Hopefully you'll put something into action. Again, my name is Brian Trippe. I'm here in Birmingham. We'd love for you to reach out to us. Okay. Thanks for watching.